you started basically PogChamps. We can thank to you and the collaboration with you and Hikaru that the entire chess boom started, and the series, the PogChamps series, grew out of that collaboration. And now you are here for your third PogChamps. Unfortunately, we'll need to say goodbye to you, but will we see you be back for PogChamps 4?
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. When I come back, I'll be stronger than ever, and I'll take the crown then.
Yo.
Yeah, what up, man?
How's it going? Heard you wanted some help.
Yeah. Today's the big match. I'm pretty sure the opponent's pretty good, right?
Yeah, he's pretty good, but he also gets very nervous. So like he uses a lot of time and gets low. So you have good chances though.
Okay. Sounds fair enough.
So what do you want to do? You want to talk about like what the strategies he's gonna play are? Do you like want to play a game?
Well, what scares me is that he actually grinds the game out, right?
Right.
So people that are like been like learning like speedrun the game, they're missing like small parts that when you play a lot, you kind of get a hold of, right? Mm-hmm. Like poking my other opponent, since they didn't grind the game as much, I got him with like small things, but he grinds the game a lot, so he's gonna just doing like classic like random pub game stuff is not gonna work against him. So
yeah, so I think like he's probably gonna play this Sicilian defense that Daniel Negreanu played against you, this pawn push to the left of the queen. If you remember, when you push your pawn in front of your king, he pushes pawn next to his queen 2 squares forward.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and then my mid development becomes weak, right?
Right. So if you want to look at something briefly on that, we can after the game. I mean, that's what he's played so far in the event. So I can give you a basic opening setup if you want to go for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Also, last time you guys did something about refiling or your knight or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? Do you have to do that?
You mean like bring the knight to the center of the board? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like last time, rerouting your knight is what they said.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. So you can do that. I think that's the best way to play is to move the knight and push the pawn in front of your queen to take the center part of the board.
Okay. Rerouting your knight. Yeah. Fudge. Yeah. I'm trying to speed up my game, so it's a bit of a waste time.
It's all good. It's all good. Like one thing like in your current game you want to think about is you just want to be aware that like you're way ahead, right? You've got like a queen and you've got a rook.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you get that bishop and that rook into the game. That's one of the most important things. So that's
I noticed that. Yeah, go ahead.
That's like a great move what you just played.
Yeah. I was just scared because of the rook above, but the rook doesn't really threaten anything. As long as my queen stays solid in her spot, I don't think there's much of a problem here.
Yeah, so in this position, you're doing very well. I think the main thing is also when you're way ahead, like you are in this current game, you want to try and take the open space. Like you have this open E file and also this D file kind of are open. So you want to look at protecting your piece, but when you're way ahead, since you have a queen and a rook, those are more powerful pieces. So you should try to take the middle part of the game.
Okay. Okay. What else? There's just some stuff about mid-game development that I just don't know. Like sometimes I'm just moving my pieces to move them.
Yeah, so
that's terrible.
Right, so I think like with Sardosh, it's pretty obvious what he's going to play in the opening. So he's going to play this London system that Pokimane played against you as well, where he pushes the pawn in front of the queen and then moves the bishop out on the second move. That's what he's been doing. So I think I mean I'll show you in a second after this game as well.
Yeah. I'm almost done.
But basically, what you want it, what 1 second.
You're good.
Yeah.
You good? Are you feeling under the weather a little bit?
No, I'm good actually. What I was gonna say is that his opening setups are very straightforward, so probably you want to try and do something that's unusual. So as I say this, I'm actually thinking about what he's gonna play in the opening phase and ways that you can play something that he hasn't seen before. So I'll just show you a couple basic setups after this game finishes.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a good move you did right there. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about something here. Boom, check. He can't take this, so he has to go like, he would have to go like this, and it may be. No, I'm thinking about the sacrifice position, but I don't think there's any good sacrifices here to do.
So I'll tell you a really good move here. I want
Yeah, go ahead.
to figure out what it is. Is you can move your bishop to attack his bishop. Now, do you see why that's a really good move?
Oh yeah. If he takes,
No. The other one, F5, not D5. The other square, F5, not D5.
Oh yeah, Bing. Bing, yeah. Oh yeah, and then I can do Rook sacrifice, so Rook take.
Right, and what happens if the white bishop captures the rook?
I think with the queen, and I'm in a bit of positioning to. Oh, it gets the rook. I get his rook and I get a fork.
Right, because like right now, if you don't play a move like this, you actually are going to lose your rook or your knight here.
Oh, I see it. Yes. Takes bishop. Takes bishop. Then I can do something fancy like discovery. Take pawn into king check, and then boom, take the rook backwards sideways.
Exactly. Yeah, that's discovery. Yeah, that's very nice. No, this is good. Yeah, I think the biggest issue with your games that your opponent like is the opening, because the mid game and the late game you're doing very well. So it's just the opening that is like where you need to really focus.
Yeah. Oh, he did a pretty good move here there, I think. Boom. Boom. Ooh. Okay, What is actually tough?
Yeah, also one other thing that I think is really important is like if you can stay ahead on time against Sardosh, you're gonna have really good chances because he gets nervous when he gets under like 1 minute. So if you can always try to keep like 15 to 30 seconds more and not get way behind on the clock at the start, you're gonna be in really good shape, which I think is why if you have an opening strategy, just a basic setup, you're in really good shape.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of blunder here.
Okay, so we offer you a draw, so probably just take it, and I'll just create a board.
Yep, sounds fair enough. Sure. I'll take the draw.
Okay, 1 second. Let me just invite you. You should see something in your bottom right hand corner. 1 second.
Okay. Let me look at this real fast. Yeah. Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so yeah, just accept that. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
I'm in.
Okay, so you're gonna be black in the first game, so I'll show you what to do with black. You can just flip the board around. So Sardosh is gonna play one of two things.
Wait, flip the board around?
Click the cogwheel up at, yeah, cogwheel right there, yeah, and then the bottom one, the 2 arrow thingies. No, just cancel that. Just hover over the cogwheel, and there are 2 like arrows to flip it.
Just chose to flip it.
Yeah, where you just were, but don't just hover over that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So Sardosh is going to do one of two things. He's either going to play pawn here or he's going to play pawn here. So I'll start with this one because I don't think he's going to play it. But if he pushes his pawn here, what you want to do is push your pawn here.
Yeah.
And now he's going to try to go for a trick. He's going to try to move his bishop here, hoping that you capture this pawn.
Right.
But what you should just do...
Instead I would move knight f6.
the thing is, if you move your knight, he can push the
Oh,
pawn.
you push pawn. Yeah, okay.
So what you want to do is just push this pawn.
Pawn
so
up, yeah.
You guard this pawn, and this bishop doesn't have any threats. And now probably he's going to play something like pawn here. And now you push your pawn in the center.
Nah, mid control.
Right, and the idea is very simple. You just want to move your bishop, move your knight, castle your king. So for example, say he moves a pawn, just move your bishop. He develops a knight, develop your knight. Let's say you castle.
And then I'm safe for a long time. Now I can talk about actually think about real strategies and not some bullshit.
Right, and basically, like if he does something like this, you can already push this pawn,
push pawn,
and just try to attack because he's pushed the pawns in front of his king too much here. So if basically this is a basic setup that I think is very simple. If he does this, I don't think he will do this, but he might do this. So let's take a look at the other setup he might do, which is he might push this pawn here.
Yeah, I usually match with the pawn here.
Right. Okay. So you can match with pawn, and now he's going to move his bishop here.
I would normally just go for attacking the pawn here like this.
Okay, so this is completely fine, and now he's going to probably push his pawn forward like this.
Okay. I kind of want to castle, and since I'm developing the right side, sometimes I push. Sometimes I do this.
Right. So this is fine. What I actually would say, just to keep it really simple, is again push this pawn and have the same.
Yeah, go ahead.
And have the same idea as against the other opening setup, which is actually when white moves like the knight here, just move the bishop to the center.
Okay.
And let's say white trades the bishops here, for example. White takes, you take with the queen.
Yeah.
And this whole opening, it's all around this one square. This is literally the only thing that matters. Like if you don't blunder pieces, it's all about the square. So like when you move your bishop here, you want to try to push your pawn because then you open up this diagonal for your bishop.
Okay, yeah.
So let's say white trades, you can take, and then when white moves the bishop, for example, you can just push this pawn, and you take the middle part of the board.
Yes. Yeah, it's something I started doing like that. It's actually pushing the pawn next to the other one, and then you win. Oh, sorry. Go back.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then you trade. Yeah, it's something I've been having a problem with. It's sometimes when I pawn block out mid, and I can't open up both my bishops.
Right.
And they're like stack bugged.
Totally. So this is probably what I would say is you basically, when this happens, you just want to push. So let's just say white castles. Just to give a basic idea, you push e5. Let's say if white doesn't take, you're gonna fork.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's say white takes and white trades it all down. They say push
and then
pawn.
He has to push pawn, yeah.
And now you just move your knight, say castle, and you just castle. And the idea is you want to move your bishop here and put both your rooks in the center of the board, just on these two squares. And then you can just play in the middle game. But this is the basic idea.
Let me give you a scenario. This is something that happens very often. Bishop g4.
Oh, okay, sorry. In this current position?
Yeah.
Okay, so
g4.
It's like white's move. Okay, so bishop g4. Okay.
Yeah, and then let's say he does a pawn f3.
Well, if he does it here, you can just take, and you kind of win the game.
Oh, yeah, I knew that already.
Well, let's say he moves the rook, and you do something like this, and he pushes a pawn. You can just come back, and it's the same thing. This pawn is a little bit weak here because this pawn is no longer defending it. It went forward one. And you do the same thing. Just move the rooks in the center of the board.
Okay.
And then let's say let's say when you move this bishop, he does not trade and give you the option to take and push in the center. He moves the bishop back. What you should do here is
take bishop.
Yeah, you can take, and then you can play a move like queen to d6, or even maybe queen to e7. Same idea, to push the pawn again.
Okay. That's fine.
And again, you just do the same thing. You want to move the knight, push the pawn in the center, and then move the bishop out to g4. So I think this is, I think this is what's going to happen. I'm trying to think what else he could do. Again, you can move your bishop out if you want here. This is fine. The only thing to be aware of is if white, say, pushes this pawn here, you can just push your pawn here. But it's up to you. Do you want to play with the bishop out or with the pawn push?
What if then he pushes pawn up?
If you push his pawn up to stop this move, then you just do your development a different way. You move the knight and you put the bishop up one square instead of up two squares here.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. What was the early opening again? I didn't forget, but
Right. So they push just the pawn. Oh, the other one was this one. Yeah. So
yeah, because no, yeah, and then I do queen pawn.
Right, and then he tries to bait you into taking the pawn, but you don't take.
Yeah, and then I just I defend with pawn here.
Correct.
And I do my staircase.
Right, and then when white defends the pawn.
What defends pawn?
You just push in the center.
Why?
Take the center.
Push the center. Push the center. Push the center. Yes. Okay.
And basically,
I'm already in.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. All the best. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Good luck.
Okay. Thank you, man. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm sad. I feel like you should have won that game.
75,000 of you are now manually breathing.
Dude, I had it.
Damn, that
Dude,
is
I had it. I'm telling you.
fucked up because I think he made at least 100,000 people just manually breathe.
You see, I finally got a girlfriend, so I don't have much time
Come
to watch
on,
your
bro.
streams anymore. Thanks for everything.
Oh, we're also on
xQc's.
chess.com. So fucking 200,000 people are now manually breathing.